I was really like heavy into sports and athletics, and I did track and field. I played every sport ever.
What did you compete in for track and field?
I was a sprinter. I did 100 meters.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, 100 meters was my thing. I don't do virtually anything professionally in Spain or in the Canary Islands, just because there isn't a market for it, and there's only a market for it if you like get huge elsewhere, and then they'll claim you like, oh, she's Spanish. Yeah. I still kind of haven't really met the person that I'm like, well, you can sign me and you have the rights to my next 3 albums. And I was on a plane and it had Wi-Fi, and I was like, whatever.
Spur of the moment.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tweet him.
Yeah.
I tweeted him, and like he got back to me like 10 minutes later.
Damn.
Like,
did he expect to get a response back?
No. Well, a response maybe, but not a fast one.
Hi, today I'm here with Sofi De La Torre.
Hello.
So you were born, was it Canary Islands?
Canary Islands, yeah. In Spain.
Yeah, were your parents born there as well?
Yeah, they were. But my mom's family is from Italy, and my dad has family in Mexico, so kind of like a mixture of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, my parents were born in the Canary Islands, yeah.
What made them move there?
I don't know, I think that their parents just kind of like visited and fell in love, and then just stayed there, just like...
Yeah.
Because the island is beautiful, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people that visit it kind of... fall in love with it and wanna move there.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to them. And then my parents were born there.
And for people who don't know about it, is there like a specific thing that people move there for, or?
Just like the weather is insane and the beaches are beautiful. Weather is kind of like out here in LA, I guess. Just good weather throughout. Hardly ever rains. But the beaches are spectacular. We have some of it. Yeah, they're amazing.
I'm gonna go on Google Images to check it out.
Definitely do. It's amazing.
And is there like a main industry there, or like careers wise?
No, like we live a lot off of tourism, because so many so many people come visit from Germany and the UK and Scandinavia, that we have a big tourism thing. But like to do music and stuff, it's kind of not really. Yeah. I had to move out for sure.
Yeah. And your dad's a painter, right?
Yeah, he is.
Has he always been a painter?
Yeah, he does watercolor and oil paintings as well.
Damn.
He's super talented. Yeah, he's always been. He's great. My mom designs clutches and bags, and my dad's a painter, so like creativity kind of just runs through my veins, I guess. Yeah.
Wait, so are your grandparents like in art as well?
No, they're not. It kind of starts with my parents, I think. My grandparents are not that creative, no.
Yeah. So other than music, is Canary Islands really fostering just like creativity, art in general? Or?
Yeah, it's just such a chilled lifestyle out there. Like you just have time to do whatever you want. It's not fast paced like out here, or even like New York, I guess, is even more fast paced. It's not kind of that vibe. Just very relaxed. And I think that's kind of also why I had to move out, just because every time I'm there, it's just like a very vacation feeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the music there is really like folk orientated, right?
Yeah, it is. It's more like we have like an instrument called timple, and it's like kind of like a ukulele. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of folk music, Canarian folk music going on. Yeah, for sure.
So how did you even like hear of any like pop music? Was it the radio? Or?
Well, no, for sure. But I grew up on. My dad is a big music lover, and so like anything rock, country, kind of like that, I heard through him. And then just pop is through, I don't know, just like the Backstreet Boys were huge. I was a huge fan of the Backstreet Boys, the Spice Girls. I went to a British school as well, so a lot of like English influence. And I just heard it through the radio, on TV, like whatever was big then, and I fell in love with it, really. Were
your friends also listening to like that sort of music?
Yeah, we were all like big Backstreet Boys and Spice Girls especially. Like we were big. We would play like in the like whenever we had breaks from classes in school, we'd play the Spice Girls, and so each one got to be a certain Spice Girl.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, and I was always the sporty one.
Yeah.
It was fun. I loved it. Yeah, we loved the Spice Girls.
Was there like a huge divide then? Like the youth culture really into this pop, but then you're like being shown all this folk music. Was there this big divide?
No, not a big divide, just a very like a broad music kind of knowledge. And I love every type of music, even to this day. Like I just, it was like a lot of options to listen to. So yeah.
How would you describe yourself back then, growing up?
I was really like heavy into sports and athletics, and I did track and field. I played every sport ever.
What did you compete in for track and field?
I was a sprinter. I did 100
meters.
Oh my
gosh!
Yeah, 100 meters was my thing. Yeah, I loved it. And then we had girls soccer team. I played on that. We played basketball. It was like and we lived right by the beach. So like every time I came back from school and we'd go surfing, it was honestly like the perfect childhood. I loved my childhood. Yeah, it was great times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that like competitive sense early on like shaped who you are now?
For sure, I think so. Like healthy. I'm healthy competitive, but for sure I'm not one to just stay stagnant and complacent. And I always strive for the next step. And I'm always very anxious to get to the next step. So probably that has to do with all the competition I was in as a child, like with the sports and stuff.
Yeah, and actually that also even helps a lot, just with like the training, like a set schedule, and like
for sure.
improving yourself, and even like working with other people.
Absolutely,
like, really helps. Yeah,
like teamwork for sure. Yeah.
What subjects were you into back then?
I loved history.
Yeah.
Like proper. Oh, I loved it.
Wow.
I loved it, and well, I was good at like memorizing stuff. I was terrible at numbers. I was good at English literature, like history, stuff like that. I was good at, and numbers was I remember math was like a nightmare. I used to cry doing homework just because I just could not understand it, and I just blocked myself. But yeah, all the kind of language stuff I loved.
Yeah. Were your parents like into lots of history and literature as well? Where do you think that like interest came from?
I just think, I mean, generally they are, but I think it was more kind of like me finding out, where my strengths were, and that was always leaning towards the the writing and the reading and writing, and I loved poetry as well. So yeah, I guess, yeah.
And like, how many languages did you start speaking like when you were young?
I went to a British school, so Spanish and English very fluently, and Spanish is my mother tongue, and now I speak German and Italian as well.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Like when you were 14, you met this music teacher who was like really like influential in your life.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Was that one of the first times that music like actually clicked to you, rather than just like listening around the house?
Definitely, because I knew that I was into poetry and like rhymes and this and that. And then Mr. Payne is his name. Well, Nick Payne, but we called him Mr. Payne. He sent us, like, our homework was to just write a song in groups of 3. And so it was me and 2 of my friends, and I wrote my first song, not with an instrument or anything, just kind of like wrote a poem and put the melody to it in my head. And so I sung it to him the next day, and he was like, wait, well, this is actually much better than the average. And so he was like, you should develop this, and he said, but you need to teach yourself like an instrument so that you can, so that it's easier for you to write songs. And so he sent me back home with a piano from school, like a keyboard.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so I taught myself, and he helped me with that, and the rest is kind of history.
Yeah. Are you still in contact with him now?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, we email every now and then. Yeah. I'm thankful.
Did he like initially show you music or like artists, and like you just really had a strong bond? He
kind of found out that I could write songs, and through that we really bonded, and then I hired him to like be my piano teacher. Yeah. And I learned. I wasn't really into learning like the theory of it all. I just wanted to play and write music, and so he kind of adjusted himself to teach me that. And he spoke to my parents. He was like, listen, like, the girl is actually talented, and it's not just she's not just making it up. I think she really, really loves this, and then my parents supported me ever since.
Yeah. Is it an easy transition from writing all this like literature and poetry to songwriting?
It's easy in the sense that for me, songs have to tell a story, and you should be a storyteller first. And a song, when you read the lyrics of a song, it should mean something and speak to you, even if it doesn't have a melody or music behind it. So I think it kind of goes hand in hand. For sure. Yeah.
And actually, on a separate topic, like there aren't too many like Spanish singers like crossing out into like the US. You said in a previous interview it's because of the dialect, like the accent.
Yeah,
or?
like I feel like if you're gonna sing in English, I personally don't find heavy like foreign accents work that well with pop music. Like for me, if you're gonna sing in English and if you're gonna be like in, unless I mean honestly, reggaeton is huge. And I love it, and so I think better like do something in your language and then have someone remix it and put some like English on it. But if you're not fluent in the language, sometimes it's kind of like it's difficult to kind of buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just it doesn't flow the same. Yeah.
In that way, do you think you had barriers initially if people weren't even that well, like people like I guess Spanish people didn't even know that much about like English pop because they haven't had like a huge like pop star come out of it, like it's the path for you. So did you like struggle initially?
No, not even, because I just left. Like I don't do virtually anything professionally in Spain or in the Canary Islands, just because there isn't a market for it, and there's only a market for it if you like get huge elsewhere, and then they'll claim you like, oh, you know, like, oh, she's Spanish, but you know, but to make it, it's not easy, which I find kind of dumb. You know what I mean? It's like you should, but it is the way it is. So I kind of I knew that and I left. Yeah. And I've done really nothing in my home country, I guess.
What age did it click to you that you had to grow out of it?
Probably. Well, I just saw how the industry was and how the business was. Yeah. And I guess at 17 or so, I already kind of had my eyes set on. Moving. Yeah.
Did you start out doing more like folk stuff?
Yeah, I did. More like guitar, piano, like organic, poppy songs. Yeah. And then I started writing on beats, and I realized that, you know, that was my thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did you go far in like the folk music? Like, did you do live shows and everything, or was it just like
I did some shows back in Europe.
Oh wow.
And because that's where I was based. I was living in London, and I did some shows there. But I think live is something that I want to get more and more and more into. Yeah. Now that I have like a better knowledge of who I am as a musician, you know? Yeah. And what I want to convey to people. Yeah. So yeah.
So that was when you were like 16, right?
Something like that, yeah.
And then you moved to London?
Yeah, I moved to London. I started studying there, media, and then I dropped out, and I said I just want to do music. Thank you very much. And I kind of been doing that since then, really.
Why did you decide to go to London? I guess it's most people from your high school went, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of the same for me, because I went to a British high school in Hong Kong, and everyone went to the UK.
Right, exactly. So all my best friends were there, and it just made sense for me to choose to go there.
Yeah. Was school something that you always wanted to do, or did your parents kind of push you to get a degree?
I thought I wanted to do. I was always like, okay, I want to be a musician, but I need to have like a safety net. Let me be a musician after I study. Which, looking back, is not a bad idea. But I think that in order to be something, you have to give your 110% and devotion and dedicate your life to it. And if you're thinking that you need a plan for if that fails, then you're already not thinking the right way to succeed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just decided, no, I had to do what I loved, and I've made it work since then. So yeah.
What about media do you like that you wanted to study it?
I just love graphic design. I love.
Yeah, you do like a lot of your artwork. I do really hands-on with all that.
Exactly. I take care of all my artwork. I love like video editing and all that. And I thought that I would fit in that, but then it was like everything that they taught me on the creative side, I already kind of had taught myself to do, and then the theory part of the degree, I was just like, I mean, how is this going to help me? You know, like it wasn't. Yeah. I felt like I was just wasting my money, so I stopped to kind of reassess everything. Yeah. And I made the choice to just do music. Yeah.
Did you never think about studying like history or like literature?
Yeah, I thought about history for a bit, but as I said, it's not like it wasn't my passion. It was something that I'm good at, but it's not my passion. And I think you can only truly succeed at what your passion is because you're going to dedicate your entire life to it if you have to.
So why didn't you study music?
Because I don't feel attracted to the theory of it. I'm not interested in that. I'm just interested in telling stories and writing songs. And now more than ever, you can not know how to like put down a note in a you know, like a theory thing, and you can still write songs, and that's what I do. So in pop music, like, you don't, you know, there's times where I'm like, well, it would help to have a music education, just in terms of like chords and cadences and all that, and to broaden my style of writing. But that's how you know, you get in with other producers and other writers, and you kind of compensate that. Yeah.
It must have been pretty exciting for you to move to London. Like, a lot of people perform there. You're able to see finally everyone live. I guess like no one really goes to Canary Islands to perform. Like, kind of same as Hong Kong.
Yeah. Exactly.
Did that really just like change the way you perceived a lot of music, or?
I guess so. Yeah. I think there's, in any big city, there's a lot more opportunities, and it was good to just feel that kind of vibrance for a couple of years. Yeah. Actually, we had Elton John come to the Canary Islands recently, which is crazy. Think about it.
And probably everyone went, because that's
everyone
their only chance.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's sold out.
It's sold out.
Definitely.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a legend right there.
Yeah,
really cool.
How far on were you already with your career when you were in London?
I kind of started though. When I you know, that's where I met my manager, and when we kind of started taking music seriously as a serious like life option. Prior to that, as I said, I'd been like looking for you know, backup plans and stuff. And we
How are you able to find your manager? Did you already start putting stuff out?
Yeah, I just put stuff online, and he came across it, and we met, and I played live for him. And we started working together, and then and then same manager up until this day.
That was still like pretty young, right?
Yeah.
Were you or your like parents afraid of like what you were getting into at all?
Yeah, I think my parents kind of were like, they would have wanted me to finish my degree, and I totally understand that, especially because I left like, I had 1 year left to finish it. And I left. I kind of feel very guilty about that, but I think it was the right, you know, in life you have to make the choices that are right for you, and as long as you kind of feel very strongly about something, and you feel that, and nothing crazy, like it, I truly believe that this is, you know, this is what I should be doing, and this is what I'm going to make a living doing. And as long as you're not kind of hurting anybody doing that, then you're good. And I'm happy with my choices, that's for sure.
And from kind of the onset, you already knew that you were going to be like independent, right?
Yeah.
How did you even know or like get that kind of like insight at such a young age?
No other option really. Like, if you want to put music out at the pace that you want to put it out at, you have to do it independently at the beginning, at least. We met with a lot of labels, especially in the past year and a half, 2 years. We've met with a lot of people, and I still kind of haven't really met the person that I'm like, well, you can sign me, and you have the rights to my next 3 albums, and it's all, because I'm just very doubtful. I like to have everything under control. I'm a bit of a control freak, and I don't want anybody kind of hindering my career, because the label can further you very, very much and can make you into a very big artist, but if they don't do things right, they can also just make you remain stagnant and never release a song again. So you just have to be, just have to find the right person, I guess.
What kind of specific characteristics are you looking for
in a label? The minute I see someone with at least 1% of the enthusiasm that I have for my career, like just you know what I mean? Like, if I see that fire in their eyes, then I'm gonna know. And I know I can't pretend everyone to be as excited for me as I am for my career, but there has to be, you know, some sort of tunnel vision, you know, because labels nowadays is like, well, if you don't have a top 10, like, I don't sign you. And it's like, well,
so
when
ridiculous.
I have a top 10, I'm not going to sign to anybody. What are you telling me? Like, you know, it's ridiculous.
That's really true.
So by the time that I've achieved that, it's like, I don't need your help. You need to help me to achieve that. You know what I mean? So but I'm confident that it's, you know, I'm open. I'm not as close to the idea as I was maybe a couple of years ago. But it has to be the right fit for sure.
Actually, how did you even change your mind? Like, from you were pretty close-minded before, and now you're like pretty open to the idea. I
don't know. I think you're able to, you know, not everybody is Chance the Rapper. Not everybody has that, you know, that kind of. It's hard work for sure, but it's also that kind of element of luck where you're like, okay, you know, it worked out for me, and now I can be independent, or Macklemore, or people like that have just remained independent. That's like the dream for any artist.
Yeah.
But realistically, not everybody can go that way. So, and sometimes also it's just nice to know that you have a body of people that believe in you and invest in you.
And was it pretty after the time that you left London that you went straight to Berlin, or?
Yeah.
So how old were you back then?
Like around 21, 22, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. And I live in Berlin now.
What made you want to move there?
Just my manager was based there. We were doing a lot of work out of there, and it just made sense to kind of be based there. It was a lot cheaper than living in London as well.
Yes, true.
So it seemed like the right choice at the time.
Is there a big pop scene there, or that you're able to work with like songwriters and producers?
Yeah, but it's like more so German oriented, like German language. And they write in English as well every now and then, but it's not. I don't find it's as authentic as when I come out here and or in the UK. That's kind of first language. So
And how were you able to meet like your producer? Is he the one who lives in Helsinki?
Yeah, my producer. He recently moved out here, but he's from Helsinki. We met in Berlin, and we had a session there. And then I just kept going back and forth to Helsinki, and he would come and I would go. And, that's how we worked.
Yeah. How did it click to you early on that you wanted just one person to fine-tune your whole like uniqueness? Because I feel like a lot of like singers work with a bunch of producers, but then you like have one that you work really closely with.
Yeah, I have loyalty. Like I'm very loyal. I'm very loyal to the people that believe in me. So like he dedicated his time and his efforts, and he's talented as. I mean, I think he's the most talented producer I've worked with to date still. And I'll work with other people and stuff, but when I'm with him in the studio, it's a different thing. Yeah. And and I just think we clicked from minute one. And he just had the vision to kind of make a certain sound. Yeah. And that's what we did.
And for the blackbear thing, you just it was through Twitter, right? That you were able to think through the whole thing. I sent him a DM. And he responded?
He responded, yeah. I was on a plane and I was like, I really need this man on this song because he just take it to the next level. Like I admire his writing a whole lot. And so I was on a plane and it had Wi-Fi and I was like, whatever.
Spur of the moment.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tweet him.
Yeah.
I tweeted him and like he got back to me like 10 minutes later.
Damn. Did he expect to get a response back?
No. Well, a response maybe. But not a fast one. And so.
But he followed you back then, I guess. Okay, so then he was gonna see it. Yeah.
Exactly. So and then we made that happen, and he wrote his verse and recorded it and sent it my way. Yeah. And I was like, wow, this song.
Amazing! It is amazing.
Else, yeah. And so and it's still my favorite song to date, I think.
Yeah. Was that like a conscious crossover into the like American pop scene? If you were like able to have a song with him, like did you want someone who was American or like that distinctive like style?
Not necessarily. Like I wouldn't have minded the American thing. Like it could have been an artist from anywhere really. But I just admire his music so much, and I think he's one of the most talented writers out there. And so I had followed his trajectory. I knew what he was about, and I was, especially because he was at the time very, very independent as well, and so he just his whole thing spoke to me like, okay, this is it, this is the right fit. And I think we made some magic right there.
How would you say that your music has changed from the very early songs you put out?
Just the production is entirely different. I work a lot with beats. I listen to a lot of hip hop. And I think the flow and stuff kind of crosses over every now and then in my writing. It's changed a lot. For the better. Definitely.
How do you think you've grown as a person?
A lot. Like, I came into the industry with a very romantic idea of what this industry was. Like, well, if you're talented, you get signed, and then you become a star. Goodbye at the end. And now, and it's like, no, man, you have to pay your dues and really never stop believing that you have something special to say, and that people should buy into that. And even when you want to stop believing that, you kind of have to come back. And I think Russ the artist, no,
Not
like
sure.
a rapper, he said that success is being able to jump from failure to failure without losing like enthusiasm.
Damn,
and
I like that a lot.
And that's exactly what it is, you know? That's exactly what it is.
What do you think are your biggest struggles so far?
Biggest struggles is that I am not a very patient person, and this industry is all about patience.
Yeah.
And I just want things to happen fast and quick and when I want them to happen.
Yeah.
And that's just not how it works. But I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning to cope with that.
Last question. What do you want to be remembered for?
Popped on right.
Yeah. Yes. Your tag. Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye.